Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA and a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout. Don't fall victim to Art the Clown inside a grisly Terrifier haunted house like nothing you've seen before. And that's only 2 of 8 terrifying haunted houses. Grab your tickets now at universalstudioshollywood.com/Halloween. Event not recommended for children under 13.
Hi, welcome to IKEA. Hi, I'm in a whirlwind of college prep. Gotcha. We've got affordable solutions to create the perfect college living space. Great. And visit our website to see how verified college students with an IKEA family account can receive a one-time use 15% off coupon.
Nice. You guys think of everything.
Pretty much. Offer ends 9/30/25. Valid ID required. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See IKEA-USA.com/ready-for-college for complete terms.
Come visit the all-new Wekopa Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Wekopa offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and the resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Wekopa Casino Resort today. At Wekopa, we have the best of it all.
At Cox, we're always a step ahead, like your dog who barks before the doorbell rings. Senses trouble before there's trouble, like advanced security that blocks online threats before they happen and knows when the peanut butter's hiding medicine. That's why we keep surprises off your bill. With Price Lock, the price of your internet and mobile plan won't go up for up to 3 years guaranteed. Rates are Berkelot. Cox, a step ahead. Requires at least 500 megabits per second speeds and gig unlimited mobile taxes and fees excluded from Price Lock. Mobile data speeds reduced after 20 gigs.
If you know, you go. At Superstar Car Wash, we're proud to have over 550,000 members. Be in the know and try what everyone loves today. Text SuperAZ to 27800 to get a free Super Protect car wash. Terms and conditions apply.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
A comeback win last night for the Arizona Diamondbacks. A superhero analogy for the Arizona Cardinals. And how miserable are we living and enjoying the sports teams in this town? All of that the focus of this, the Wednesday edition of the lunch break right here on KDUS AM 1060. Chris Schubert with you for the next 2 hours. Producer Evan, he's behind the glass taking your phone calls, allowing you to join the program. 480-864-1060 is your way to get involved on this Wednesday edition of the show. And I want to start with the baseball team last night. And I want to start with what happened in the 9th inning of that baseball game last night, because the Diamondbacks rallied. Ketel Marte hit a big, huge home run in the top of the 9th inning. Juan Murillo picked up his first career save in the bottom part of the 9th inning, and it was right back to the win column for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And this is why I'm against making a move that many of you want to make.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
That game last night would be maybe not Exhibit A, because I've got other exhibits that I would submit to the judge for evidence, but maybe Exhibit B, Exhibit C, as to why I'm not there yet on firing Torey Lovello at the end of the season. Why I don't think this team needs a managerial change. Because while his team was on the wrong side of basically every close call in the strike zone or out of the strike zone last night, and there's the ump scorecards that keep tabs on all of these umpires and how they do throughout the course of a game. Nate Tomlinson, bad night behind the dish for the home plate umpire. His overall consistency, 90%. The average among MLB umpires, 94%. He favored the Rangers to the tune of 1.85 runs. And the impactful calls in the game, I'm looking at two of them. Two of the most impactful calls in the game went against the Arizona Diamondbacks in last night's contest. The average called ball accuracy among MLB umpires is 97%. For Nate Tomlinson, it was 92. Just a bad night, and in some key spots was giving that low strike to the Texas Rangers. This was a bad night behind the dish. And so in the ninth inning, once again, getting a bad call, a low strike called against Geraldo Perdomo, what does Torey Lovullo do? He goes out there, and he makes sure that the umpire knows how much he screwed up tonight. He makes sure he knows how much he's messed up this evening, counting on his fingers the number of mistakes that Nate Tomlinson has made behind the plate that have gone against the Arizona Diamondbacks, making sure it's very clear that, yeah, you're throwing me out of this game, but I'm getting my money's worth, and I'm telling you how bad of a job you did. And I believe that coincidences can happen. I don't think it is a coincidence in last night's ball game that Torey Lovullo goes out there to defend his players, to defend his team. They're getting every call against them last night. And the next batter, Ketel Marte, hits a go-ahead home run with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the ninth inning. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that is a player who is fired up by his manager and fired up by the moment. And a pitch on the inner half, he turned on an absolutely unloaded one to deep left field at Globe Life. Is it Globe Life Field or Globe Life Park? I think it's Field. I think it's Field. We're going to check. But Globe Life Field last night. An absolute moonshot from Ketel Marte. You've got a team that is still playing hard. You've got a team that is grinding it out until all 27 outs have been recorded. They could have easily, and we would expect them to do this, and we would somewhat understand them packing it in after being sellers at the deadline. Traded away your starting first baseman and third baseman. Traded away your best starting pitcher. Traded away your best reliever in Shelby Miller, who's now helping Milwaukee be the best team in baseball. We all would have understood them packing it in since the trade deadline. They've done anything but. Could very easily have won the first game in this series. Should have won the first game in this series. And they win last night. After their manager gets ejected in the ninth inning, Ketel Marte comes up with a big home run, then makes a pair of excellent defensive plays in the bottom of the ninth inning. This team is fighting. This team is playing hard. They're playing hungry. Blaze Alexander continues to be, pun intended, on fire in August. Another home run last night for a guy who very quickly is putting his name in pen. We're going to upgrade from pencil to pen on the 2026 roster for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I don't know how you can look at all of this. Look at the way they've played in this 10-game stretch. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go on a run and they're chasing down the Reds and chasing down the Cardinals and Giants and the Mets for that final wild card spot. But I am inspired by the toughness and the hard-nosed effort that we are seeing from this team that, let's face it, we didn't see pre-trade deadline. We didn't see it. We didn't see this type of consistent baseball, and we're seeing it right now. Is it going to guarantee success in 2026? No. But for those of you out there that want to fire the manager at the end of the year, for those of you that think this team needs a fresh voice, they are telling you something different with the way that they are playing. They're fighting hard for themselves. They're fighting hard for each other. They're fighting hard for their manager. And that is what you're seeing on display through the first 11 or so games since the trade deadline. And to me, last night is another reminder of why this goes beyond just the manager. This year, going sideways is not on Torey Lovullo. Is it Field or Park?
So the new one is Globe Life Field. The old one is Globe Life Park.
So that's why both were in my head, because at one point they have been both.
And I just want to make it very clear: should have never gotten rid of Globe Life Park.
The
new one stinks.
Naming wise or the building itself?
The building itself.
I will tell you, watching
It has no character.
some say that about Chase Field at times. That Chase Field lacks some character. It looks like you're playing in an airport hangar.
I don't always disagree with that either.
I mean, that's fair.
I like baseball outside, and I get it's tough in Texas, but Safeco feels like it has character, or like where Seattle plays.
And I believe it is now T-Mobile Park.
T-Mobile Park feels like it has character.
Yeah, I mean, Oracle Park in San Francisco has some character.
Tons.
I think Yankee Stadium, while it being the Yankees and them not leaning into anything other than the pinstripes and playing baseball, I think that park has character because you feel the history, the short porch. You just know what.
I think Citi Field has character. I think Philadelphia has character because it's just Texas. Visually, it looked bad on TV. I want to say that. It looks bad.
I will say we watched the Big 12 baseball tournament that was at Globe Life.
Looks dark in there.
It just looked empty. It just looked like I'm not talking about the seats. I'm just talking about the emptiness that I felt just watching a ball go into the gap. There's not a whole lot going on there. And honestly, it feels like at times you're playing baseball in a cave. That's how big it is.
It's massive.
It's huge.
Which is a shame because Globe Life Park was perfect. It was the best stadium that they could have had for them.
Well, what I think of when I say Globe Life Park, the original one that they played at, which was outside, what do you think of?
Nelson Cruz down the line in the World Series.
So you think of that? Because I think of David Freese.
But that's in St. Louis.
No, is it? I thought.
Yeah, the Freeze.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
That's in St. Louis. It's a walk-off home run.
That is a walk-off home run. You're right. I'm mixing up the 2 years because there's a home run that's hit in that park to deep center field.
Yes, there is, and it's Josh Hamilton.
Okay, that's the home run I'm thinking.
Yeah.
In that park.
You know what's crazy? By the way, this game doesn't get enough credit because the 2016 World Series was so good. The 2013 2011 Game 6 is the greatest baseball game ever played.
Well, okay, now we already have a top 5 list for today. We don't need to create another one on our hands that's baseball related. But you pulling out it's the greatest baseball game ever played.
It really is
a little tough.
It really is. And it might be 2016, but it's up there. David Freese Nelson Cruz misplays a ball. That ties the game. And then Freese, we'll see you tomorrow night, is not only one of the great games of all time, but to have a call that iconic.
Yeah, I mean, you had in that game, I pulled up the Wikipedia page for it, just so we're speaking factually here. Cardinals erase a 2-run deficit in the bottom of the 9th. They then
Freese triple.
And then in the 10th, they do it again. And then in the 11th is when Freese hits the home run that then forces the game 7.
I was going to say, because in the 10th, in the top of the 10th, again, the Rangers took it right back on a Hamilton 2-run homer.
Yeah, they take a lead in that game, another 2-run lead in that game that needs to then be erased in the bottom of the 10th. Because they score 2 in the 9th to send it to extras. Texas scores 2 in the 10th to make it 9-7. The Cardinals respond with 2 in the bottom of the 10th, and then in the 11th, Freese walks it off. How about this? Let's play a little game. 6 players hit home runs in that game. Can you name the 6 players?
Game 6?
In Game 6.
Okay, so Freese.
David Freese.
Let's work backwards.
Yep.
Hamilton goes deep in the 10th.
Yep, that's 2.
I believe Berkman goes deep in that game.
Yes, but not for Texas, for St. Louis.
For St. Louis,
yes.
Yep. I'll guess Pujols.
Nope.
Okay. Nelson Cruz go deep.
Nelson Cruz. You're missing one from each
early
squad.
in the game. One from each squad.
The Ranger is easier to get than the Cardinal.
Is the Ranger Mike Napoli?
No. But another long-term Texas Ranger.
Ian Kinsler?
No, another long-term.
Michael Young.
Another long-term.
Another one? How many long-term Rangers are there?
This guy played third base.
Oh, Adrian Beltre.
And then the Cardinal.
Man, Adrian Beltre never won a World Series. That's kind of sad. The Cardinal. So Freese, Pujols, Berkman, all went deep.
This guy was a journeyman outfielder, I believe. And this is really what he's most known for. He had a very small window. Alan Craig also hit a home run in that game. 6 home runs in a extra innings Game 6.
Alan Craig. I mean, that's a name I never thought would come up again.
Well, that's what happened. You took us here. Where we currently
Did you
reside
see-
right
well,
now is your fault.
They tried to retire David Freeze's number, and he said no, he wasn't good enough.
I mean, World Series MVP.
I agree.
Parlayed that success into
David
a big
Freeze
contract.
is one of the greatest playoff performers of all time.
Yeah, I mean, he was
in baseball.
he
He
was
was
brilliant for
lights
them.
out and for multiple years.
Yeah. So Texas Rangers, Globe Life Park, then to Globe Life Field, back to the Diamondbacks beating the Texas Rangers last night in the second game of that series. Good to see Juan Murillo pick up his first career save. I said when they called him up and you look at the profile of the stuff that he has, that I thought he could be a future closer option for Torey Lovullo, because you want guys that have some high octane stuff to get those final 3 outs, and Murillo certainly has it. The first out that he got in that inning was a jam shot, 99 in on the hands, that was able to be fielded pretty easily. And so just some really nice work there by Murillo, and really exciting about the future of that Diamondbacks bullpen. He's one of the young arms that they have available, and he picked up the save last night. We already mentioned Blaze Alexander hitting another home run, continues to be on fire in the month of August. But I'm just watching a team right now that is telling me with their play, they have a manager that they still believe in. They are playing like a team that believes in the message, that believes in the direction that they're going in. They have not given up. They have not packed their bags. They're not thinking about their vacations at the end of the year. They are not mailing it in on Torey Lovullo. And that tells me they still believe in him. His message is still resonating. And that's what matters. When you make a managerial change, or your manager retires and you need to pick somebody new, when you are filling that void, you need somebody. Let's be honest, everybody. Watch another team for an entire season. You'll be just as mad at that manager and some of the in-game decisions that they make, as mad as you are at Torey Lovullo. Every manager makes a handful of critical errors throughout the course of the year. The message and keeping a clubhouse together is the most important part of a manager's job. That's what you're looking for. You maybe want a tactician that's able to make some good moves, but you need somebody that is going to connect with those players every single day for 162. That's going to be able to, when you go on a stretch, when you lose 8 of 9, that is going to get you back on track. Torey Lovullo is still that guy for this franchise. And I know that's probably going to annoy some of you, but he is still that guy, because the proof is in the way this team has played since selling off pieces at the deadline. Torey Lovullo is still the manager of this ball club, and he should still be the manager of this ball club going into the beginning of the 2026 season. Beyond that, he's a lame duck manager. His future beyond that is up in the air. That's fine, because you need some results. The last 2 years, you didn't make the playoffs. But I've got one more year on that contract. I think I'm going to see it through.
I was early on the train of they might need to make a change when things kind of started to hit the rails there early. I now have kind of flipped the script on that. And I think there's no choice but to keep him, because 2 questions. And one that you've always asked me, if not Torey, then who?
That's the most important.
And you need somebody who's going to come in here and work with the young guys, and you need a more of a developmental side of the game with the young players. That has virtually nothing to do with the manager. And so, do I mind what Torey has done to this point? No. And do I think that they still want to play for him? Yes. And for that reason alone, you have to keep him through next year. If next year's another bad year and your young talent doesn't take a step forward, then some serious questions need to be asked.
And here's the interesting wrinkle that I need somebody to give me a good answer on. Most people think next year is going to be somewhat of a soft rebuild. Most people think next year is not going to be a year where they're going to be super competitive. I somewhat disagree with that. But if that's the case, you really want to bring in a brand new manager and have them try to set the culture when you're in the middle of a transition? Maybe you find somebody that has the right message and is a culture leader, but I don't view the Diamondbacks as a team that needs a culture reset right now. The Cardinals, when they had to go from Cliff to JG, they needed a culture reset. The culture had gotten out of whack. The culture had gone sideways. You needed somebody that was going to grab the bull by the horns, take control, and say, this is the way we're doing this. And if you're not on board with this, you're out. And the Cardinals have done a nice job with that. Jordan Ott is being brought in right now for the Phoenix Suns to help establish a new culture that got lost when KD and Bradley Beal were brought in. They lost their way. They lost the culture of the team that was 2 wins away from winning an NBA championship. I don't feel like the Arizona Diamondbacks have lost their way, lost their culture, the way the other 2 sports teams in town who have made coaching changes recently, how they lost their culture at that time. I don't think the Diamondbacks are anywhere near that point.
No.
And so
no,
that's
I don't
why
think so.
I'm against making a managerial change right now. Not saying give him a contract extension.
Let me ask you this question. Is there a shorter leash next year?
Of course.
So let's say early in the year, everybody gets off and it feels like the team is kind of bad start.
Of
and
course.
the team is kind of quit. Then you need to make a change and pretty fast.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you need to make a change. You need to get a jump start on maybe evaluating a coach on your staff that you may think could be the answer, but just early on in the season, when you're still fighting for something, create that spark. But again, this team right now should have shown you that they've given up. They've mailed it in. They're done. They're not doing that. In fact, they're doing the complete opposite. They're doing the complete opposite. They should have 2 games in this series. Now, if you want to blame Torrey for going to Andrew Hoffman for a second inning, again, managers are going to make mistakes. I'll hear you on that. But they should have won both games in this series. They should be, what are they now? 7-4 since the deadline?
7-3.
Well, they lost
7-4. Yeah.
They could be 8-3. We could be talking about a team that has won 8 of their last 11 games since the trade deadline. Is that a team that's manager has lost the clubhouse? Is that a team that's manager's message is falling on deaf ears and players are just playing for themselves and not playing as a team? No. In fact, it's the complete opposite right now. The complete opposite. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. And I knew this was going to happen. I've angered Brian over on the YouTube side of things. He's upset with me, says he's getting aggravated. Torrey Lovello has been around for 1,300 games, below 500. He has had his chance. Time for a new voice. By your logic, what would ever need to happen for him to be fired? You can tell when a team no longer is playing for their manager. You can tell when a team no longer believes in the message from that manager. I am not saying that Torrey Lovello has managed his way into another contract extension, but I think he has managed his way to be in the same situation he was in going into 2023, the year they went to the World Series. He was a lame duck that year. They got off to a good start. He got a 1-year extension. They finished that year going to the World Series. 2 more years were tacked onto it, and now here we are at the conclusion of that deal. I see no reason why they should not see that through. Because in everybody else's mind, 2026 is going to be a lost season, so you're not losing anything. You don't need a manager. This is not a team that went to the World Series a year ago and then had a bad year, and the window's closing very quickly, and you got to get a manager in there. You got to go the Coach Bud route and try to make it work. To everybody's interpretation, this team's going to take a step backwards. So there's no urgency to get the right guy in here right now. There's urgency to fix this roster. And I think Torrey's the guy to manage them through that, if not get an extension beyond that. So I know I'm on the opposite end of this. I don't think Torrey is as bad of a manager as some say. 480-864-1060 if you want to weigh in on that throughout the course of the program here today. When we come back, everybody wants Kyler Murray to step up in year 7. So if he's going to be the Batman, who's the Robin? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Jack here. My bonus Jack combo starting at $3.99 comes with fries, a drink, and a burger with 1, 2, or 3 patties. It's a meal that'll actually make you happy. Starting at $3.99. Get so much more. Welcome to Jack in the Box. Plus tax. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
One night, 2 incredible bands. Fuel. Lit. Ignited We Stand Tour 2025. Saturday, August 23rd, the Edge Pavilion in Laughlin, Nevada. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Fuel and Lit together live. Brought to you by the Edge Pavilion in Laughlin, Nevada.
Nitro Circus is back with the all-new Off the Rails Tour. World-class daredevils and FMX, EMX, skate scooter, and more. Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, and never-been-done showdowns. Friday, December 5th, Desert Diamond Arena. Visit Ticketmaster.com.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know it's not just a car, it also drives your children's dreams. So whether you're going to soccer practice, robotics club, or opening night in the school play, we help protect those dreams. Save up to 23% when you bundle auto and home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. So, who is the best team in baseball? The defending world champion Dodgers? Busted up. And maybe not even the best team in their own division. The major market Mets, who rip Juan Soto from the Yankees. Circling the drain and losers of 11 of their last 12. The Yankees, in danger of missing the playoffs and playing like they want to get their manager, Aaron Boone, fired. No, the best team in baseball is the Milwaukee Brewers, and they have been for more than a minute. They've won 10 in a row, 25 of 29, and they're 30 games over 500. Not just the best team in baseball, but the smartest, since they're doing it with a payroll that is 1/3 the size of the teams I just mentioned. And no, they're not just that hot. They really are that good, that deep, that fundamentally sound, that fast, and that legit. And yes, legit enough to win it all. Yeah, I said it. The Brewers are not some nice little regular season story. They are a juggernaut, and this is their time. I'm Jim Rome. Football is back, and so is the action on Prize Picks. With millions of members and billions of dollars awarded in winnings, Prize Picks is the best place to put your takes to the test. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code ROME and get $50 in bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. Guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Mobil 1 Full Synthetic Motor Oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Purchase 5 quarts of select Mobil 1 Full Synthetic Motor Oil and get up to a $15 gift card after rebate. Find the synthetic oil that's right for your vehicle and budget. Shop your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Make sure you download the KDUS AM 1060 app to take us with you on the go. You also have your chance to listen to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks versus the Cincinnati Reds Friday, August 22nd at Chase Field. The way to do that, be registered, logged in, listening on either the KDUS AM 1060 app or streaming us on KDUS1060.com. Kickoff Hispanic Heritage Weekend, Friday, August 22nd against the Cincinnati Reds, presented by Estrella Jalisco. After the game, the party starts with a post-game concert featuring Banda La Adictiva. Meet and greet and concert field passes are available. We got your chance to win 4 tickets for listening on the app. You can also get your tickets at dbacks.com/SGT. Got a fun top 5 coming up in hour number 2 of the program. It is International Left-Handed Day. So we are going to give our lists of the top 5 left-handed pitchers of all time in baseball.
I tried to find a loophole this morning. Really got you shut that down.
Yeah, you were trying to convince me that Babe Ruth could go on this for his limited amount of pitching. And I said, absolutely not. I will not. I mean, if you want to put him on the list, it's your list. You can do what you want with it. I will ridicule said list because I got some HMs today too. I got a couple of really
100% some HMs.
I got some powerful HMs.
Some powerful ones?
These are 2 really good pitchers that didn't make the cut.
Yeah, I didn't want to go that far back. I had a real tough time with this list because if you pitched pre-1960,
it's tough for you.
It's hard.
It's difficult.
It's hard reaching back.
Yeah,
there.
well, let me tell you, some of these lefties pitched pre-1960. So
same on my list, but there's nothing you can do about those.
Yeah. So the top 5 left-handed pitchers of all time. We'll do a top 5 list in hour number 2 of the program. In the meantime, we spent yesterday outlining how Kyler Murray could go from being in the athletic size, a tier 3 quarterback, to a tier 2 quarterback, in line with many of our conversations throughout this offseason of this being a make or break year for Kyler Murray. Entering year 7, there are many of you out there that don't just want to see regular season success. You want to see postseason success, or this year would be a failure. Kyler Murray would be a failure, and that this team should explore its options next offseason at the quarterback position. So a lot riding on this year for Kyler Murray. And I agree that Kyler needs to step up, that Kyler needs to be the general under center, that he can make that jump from tier 3 to tier 2, and a lot rides on his shoulders. But I will steal a superhero comic book analogy for just a second. In this scenario, everybody wants Kyler Murray to be Batman, to be the superhero, the main character, the person that we're all focusing on, and the one that comes through when it matters most. But taking that analogy a step further, who can be the Robin to Kyler Murray's Batman? Who can be the extra piece to the dynamic duo like we talk about in the NBA? Who's going to be the player that helps Kyler Murray get there? Because while we all want him to be Batman, he is going to need some help in order to get there. Batman can't always do it on his own. Needs some help. The Avengers, greatest superhero group ever. There's a bunch of them. They need help. The Fantastic Four, it's not the Fantastic One.
The Justice League.
Okay, Justice League. There's a league. There's a bunch of them. Didn't take you as a DC over Marvel guy.
Huge DC over Marvel.
Really? Yeah. Even though the DC movies have not been very good for at least a decade.
Just based on characters alone, I'm a DC over Marvel guy.
Sure. But they've ruined Superman many times over.
Sure. But the Dark Knight trilogy is the best trilogy in all of superhero films.
The most recent Batman film was really good.
And that was really good too.
Yeah.
And I really liked the most recent Superman movie. And despite what Man of Steel does to the character, which isn't Superman, I do think that's a good movie.
I can't tell you the last Superman specific movie that I've watched. I've just seen the.
You should go see the new one.
I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard the good reviews and I've heard the bad reviews.
Have you seen any Guardians of the Galaxy? You've seen?
Yes, that's a Marvel property.
Yes, but James Gunn, who directed that, directed Superman.
Well, I like James Gunn.
James Gunn, all his movies are pretty fun. Also, I had to see Superman. The guy who plays Superman, David Cornsweet is his name. He's a diehard Eagles fan and he loves Star Wars. That's a guy I would love to hang out with. Figured I had to see his movie.
So you did that in support of him?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. But in all of those examples, it's a group. even Superman in the Justice League has help. Kyler Murray's going to need help. So who can be his Robin? Who can be that person that's always there for Kyler Murray? Who can be that person that helps Kyler Murray get to that next level? And to me, the answer is extremely obvious. Because when we talk about quarterbacks and developing, when we talk about quarterbacks progressing up the ranks, when you draft a rookie quarterback, what does everybody say that you have to have? Got to have a great tight end. Got to have that great safety valve. Got to have that great break glass in case of emergency option. Well, not only do the Arizona Cardinals have that, they have one of the best tight ends in all of football. They have not just a safety blanket, they have a game changer at the tight end position. So if there is one player that you want to look to be the guy that can help Kyler get to where he wants to get to, it's not Marvin Harrison Jr., it's not James Conner, it's not Paris Johnson Jr. or anybody on the offensive line. It is the superstar tight end that this franchise has, that this franchise paid this offseason. That's the Robin. Kyler Murray is Batman. Trey McBride is Robin. We have said all offseason long, the true wide receiver one on this team is Trey McBride. That Marvin Harrison Jr. is wide receiver two. That this offense, the passing game, flows through Trey McBride. Flows through your superstar tight end. That absolutely should be the case at the start of this season. When Kyler Murray and Trey McBride are on the same page, this offense clicks. This offense works. This offense looks the way it is supposed to look. So if there is one guy, one player that I would pick that needs to be right there alongside Kyler Murray, that is his sidekick, his accomplice, it would be the superstar tight end, Trey McBride. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, at times I think we hate the teams that we watch here in this town. I think it's fair to say that there is some hatred at times, some frustration. You feel miserable about these teams. Well, just how miserable are things in Arizona right now? We'll explain next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Head coach Brian Wright and the Lumberjacks are setting a new standard in Flagstaff.
Happy with our attitude, our effort, how we've come together as a football team.
Join us Saturday, August 30th. The Lumberjacks invade Arizona State to battle the Sun Devils. Our coverage begins at 6 on your home for Lumberjack football.
Skips his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Lumberjacks.
The NAU Lumberjacks Sports Network from Learfield.
Jan from Toyota here with live coverage of end of summer fun at Toyota's national sales event with my special guest, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Jan. Let's get into it.
Down by the lake for some fishing, we've got Eric in his Tundra. He throws his line and he's going long.
Heck of a team effort there. That Tundra got him exactly where he needed to be.
Next up, here's Kyle, off-roading behind the wheel of a 4Runner.
Whoa, that 4Runner's got some serious moves on the field.
There's excitement in the stadium parking lot with the Davis family tailgating in their new Sequoia.
All eyes are on Dad manning the grill. He grabs some buns from the cargo area of the Sequoia and flips. And look at that. What a way to close this one out.
Sure was, Eli. Until next time, go Toyota!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, owner of Precision Air and Plumbing. If you haven't noticed, the summer's here. The triple digits are settling in, and we know the heat isn't the only thing feeling heavy. Got a tight budget? That's why we're offering new AC units starting at just $99 a month. But that's not it. You could also get up to $3,000 in federal tax credits and rebates. It's never been a better time to upgrade. Beat the heat and budget the stress. Make the precision decision today. Call us at 602-FIX-MY-AC.
Precision decision with Precision Air.
There's still time to lose weight this summer, and the best part? You can do it for free. For a limited time, Red Mountain Weight Loss will waive your startup fee when you begin any program. And with plans starting as low as $149 per month, you can't afford to miss this. Lose up to 20 pounds by this time next month for as low as $149. Red Mountain is the leader in medical weight loss with personalized plans tailored to your needs from doctors who specialize in weight loss. We help you overcome issues like slowing metabolism, menopause, or hormone imbalance so you can lose weight successfully. With brand name medications like Wegovy and Zepbound, as well as RM3, Red Mountain's own patented medication for rapid weight loss. Book your video appointment today and we'll ship medications direct to your door. Lose weight this month and get started for free only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Real doctors, real results, Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com or hit pound 250 on your phone, keyword Red Mountain. That's pound 250 on your phone, keyword Red Mountain.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
How miserable are we here in the state of Arizona when it comes to watching our sports teams? How miserable of a time is it? Well, that's exactly what ESPN tried to get to the bottom of this morning. This was not originally going to be a topic of conversation on the show, but we found that ESPN put out this morning their sports misery index, and all you did was you go in there and you type in the teams that you're a fan of, and they have baseball, football, basketball, hockey, MLS, WNBA. Professional sports leagues are all in there. So no college teams. You can't put your favorite Premier League soccer team in there. Just focusing on the major professional sports leagues here in the United States. And producer Evan and I saw the link. We kind of just gave each other a look during the morning meeting. We were like, we've got to know. So we went on there and we put in all of the teams that you can put in for the state of Arizona. You put in the Diamondbacks, you put in the Cardinals, you put in the Suns, and you put in the Mercury. 4 teams. They don't have a hockey team anymore. There's no MLS team here yet. Although speaking of soccer, got our next Phoenix Rising game here on the station, the 23rd of August. Pair of games this month that you can hear. The 23rd on KDUS AM 1060, and then the 30th, you'll hear it over on 1440 AM. You can put all those teams in there, and it gives you a score. The closer to 100 that you are, the more miserable as a fan base you are. Well, the Arizona teams put all in there together, score a 75 out of 100. The Diamondbacks, the 16th most miserable MLB franchise. The Arizona Cardinals, the 6th most miserable NFL franchise. The Suns, the 18th most miserable franchise in the NBA. And the Phoenix Mercury, the 6th most miserable franchise in the WNBA. Add it all up, 75 out of 100. A very miserable fan base.
If you take the Mercury out, they're an 83.
The Mercury make them
better.
No, the Mercury make them worse, make them more miserable.
I did it Now I wonder also how many years did you put?
I put the maximum. I put it
So
as
I did 15 plus.
Yeah,
too.
that's what I did. 'Cause
For just the basketball team, the football team, and the baseball team. Suns, Cards, D-backs, and I got 83.
Do you want to know what it is? Because the Mercury, if you go beyond just recently, they've won some championships.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going to bump it up because now you take the Mercury out. The D-backs won championship.
And that's it.
And that's it. And so you remove some of those Mercury championships. And so that actually makes the miserable index go up. So the 6th most miserable NFL franchise. And the Suns are 18th because a good string of success in the mid to late 2000s. You then had going to the finals a couple years ago. But I'm surprised that not having a championship at all and a team that went through, what was it, a decade plus of being absolutely awful doesn't weigh them down more than the 18th most miserable franchise.
I think it's really interesting to see where the Diamondbacks actually are.
The 16th most miserable franchise?
Yeah, so let's talk about the teams around them.
Okay.
The Mets are right above them.
So the Mets are the 15th most miserable franchise?
Haven't won since 86.
Haven't won since 86. Have gone
Went
to
in 15.
Went in 2015. In the NLCS in 2006. The playoffs in 16. The playoffs in 22. The playoffs last year. 21 as well. So, but no deep runs.
A lot of good recency, but
yeah.
you have the deep run in 24.
Yep.
But since then, other than 15, you don't have a deep run.
Don't have a deep run, no.
So you're right behind them. But then you're ahead of the Phillies, who over the last 20 years have been to 3 World Series, have a ring.
Yeah.
Have had some deep runs over the last few years. Interesting. And then Cleveland, same thing. You're above Cleveland, who
16 went to the World Series, lost to the Cubs.
And then here's the kicker to it all. The Yankees are 20.
Meaning that they are less miserable than, well, yeah, that makes sense, right? Think about it in this context. The Yankees, they won a World Series in 2009, right?
Yeah.
They haven't won one since, fair, but they were in the World Series last year. Other than one year in which they went 82-80, they've been above 500 forever. They make the playoffs every year. I mean, at some point, how miserable can you be, right? I know you haven't won another championship since 2009, and in New York, that's...
No, I'm saying I think that's low. I think they're too low at 20.
You think they should
be in the top 10. The Royals, I know they've won one more recently, and the Nationals should not be above.
I'm going to use one of my 3 timeouts. By in the top 10, you mean further down the list. Because
so
if
their 30th is the least miserable team.
They should be closer to 30 than
they should be to 0.
Right, 1.
Or 1.
In this case.
Yeah.
And they're at 20 right now. You want them to move to like 25, 26.
I think they should be at 24.
I would agree. I would agree that being a Yankees fan is not a miserable experience.
No, I think you should, I'm sorry, I know the Cubs won in 16. That's miserable. There's so many bad years.
Yeah, I don't know how much they weight an individual championship. I just don't know what the weight matters.
And then the
on
Nationals at 24. Come on.
They won 1 championship.
And they traded everybody.
Yeah. They did.
They signed the only one that didn't work out. The only player on the 19 team who didn't end up being good, really, they signed him. Other than Anthony Rendon, but that's a whole different.
Yeah, Soto gone, Turner gone, Harper gone. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, but again, I don't know how much weight they're putting on an individual championship.
Texas Rangers 26.
They just recently won a title, though. They just recently won a championship 2 years ago.
I know, but I guess it's recency.
How miserable? Because you asked me this question this morning because you were originally going to do this for your teams in Philadelphia before we decided, wait a minute, this is show content.
Yeah.
I said to you, I know that the Flyers and the 76ers stink. But what did I say to you? You just won a Super Bowl.
And I had a 44, I think.
Right.
But the Eagles were worth 0, and we're the second. There's 2 teams that were worth 0, New England and the Eagles. But the Eagles make sense. They've won 2 in the last 10 years.
And they just won 1.
They just won 1.
So what do we
But they've been to 1 2 years ago.
Right.
They've been to more NFC championships than any team in 2 decades.
So it's going well for you.
It's going well. but like they make sense to be 0. The Nationals and the Eagles aren't comparable.
What's the number value on Texas? Because that's gonna tell you how much they're putting stock into the recent championship in 23. Because we're talking about 3 franchises: Diamondbacks, Cardinals, Suns. There's no championship in there, other than the Diamondbacks title in 01. That's it. So that's what makes you miserable. You don't have that playoff success. You don't have a ton of hardware. Recently, you have a World Series run from the Diamondbacks. You have a finals run by the Suns. So that's what makes it not be an 85, 90, 100, because you've had pockets of success. You're not the Chicago White Sox.
22 points is the rating for the Rangers.
So that's the value of a championship recently. Is guess what? You're not that miserable. I know the last 2 years haven't been great, but you won a championship. Calm down, is basically what they're saying.
Yes, and the Dodgers, who won it last year, which is almost not fair, they're 0.
Right, that's how it should work.
Houston is 0.
That's how it should work.
And then the Giants are the 3rd team, which makes sense.
So a very miserable fan base here, and we can't include ASU. We can't include really anything else that fixes this list up at all. We're going to have the most rapid version of buy or sell coming up on the other side of the break. You can join us 480-864-1060. When we come back, we wrap up hour number 1 of the program. Buy or sell, the hottest takes in sports talk radio. We'll get to them next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025 live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
If you know, you go. At Superstar Car Wash, we're proud to have over 550,000 members. Be in the know and try what everyone loves today. Text SuperAZ to 27800 to get a free Super Protect car wash. Terms and conditions apply.
Every summer, across the valley, hundreds of our homeless neighbors die because of the heat. This is tragic, and it is preventable. None of us can stop the heat, but together we can save lives. With incredible partners like you, Phoenix Rescue Mission is able to provide life-saving water and critical care to our neighbors in need. Join us this summer and make a difference. Learn more at phoenixrescuemission.org/code red.
How about we get some pizza?
Nah.
Sushi?
No.
I thought you didn't care.
I don't.
Slow cooked.
Juicy. How did they get in our car?
I don't know, but we're going to Del.
Del Taco's new slow cooked pork carnitas. Authentic spices and salsa roja give it a rich, deep, melt in your mouth flavor. Pork carnitas are here for a limited time, so get some tender, juicy Del Taco today.
This fall, choose Primavera Online, and you'll be choosing a school with flexibility, personalized support, and an award-winning curriculum that's over 20 years strong. Now enrolling grades K to 12 at chooseprimavera.com.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
All right, let's waste little time. Buy or sell to close up hour number 1 of the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. I don't know how many you have.
I have 4, and I have a really random one at the end.
Well, we're going to get through probably 2 of them with how little time we have. We were yapping about how miserable the sports franchises are. I looked up at the clock and I was like, we are like 8 minutes past when I needed to get out of that segment. But all right, buy or sell.
I feel like all 3 segments ran long.
Yeah,
there.
hour number 1, it's been a little off the rails today.
Okay. Building off of our last segment, it's harder to be a Suns fan than a Cardinals fan.
Right now, you're saying in this specific moment?
I think so.
I would agree. I would buy this take. There's way more short-term success that I think is going to come to the Cardinals, comparing them to the Suns. And so, yeah, I think it's easier to be a Cardinals fan. There's way more to believe in, to buy into right now. Although this program buying into a lot of what's going on in downtown Phoenix with the Suns.
The alignment.
We're in, Brian. We're in.
We are in. D-backs just started their game with the Rangers. Zach Gallen versus Merrill Kelly today.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time.
Zach Gallen versus Merrill Kelly today, which leads us into a pitcher facing an old team has a bigger advantage than a lineup against an old teammate.
Oh, interesting. Who has the advantage in the revenge game? Does Merrill Kelly have the advantage, or do the Diamondbacks hitters have the advantage? I would lean towards the pitcher having the advantage.
I think so, too.
Because Merrill Kelly, most of those Diamondbacks hitters have never stood in the box and have seen his stuff move around and dot the corners, and they don't know. They may think they know how his fastball moves. You don't know until you're in there. Whereas Merrill Kelly, when you get ready for a start, most of the time all you're doing is looking at tape. You don't always have priors with guys. That's how you prepare. So I do think there's more advantage Merrill Kelly in this game.
I think so, too. I also think like live ABs in spring training probably play a factor.
Mm-hmm.
You have an idea of what those guys are looking for at the plate more than – I think you have a better idea when you formally play with somebody as a pitcher what they're looking for and their strengths are at the plate than they have an idea of what you look like out of the box.
I would agree.
By the way, Diamondbacks were down 1-0. I'll check again. 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Runners on first and third with 2 outs. Mark Williams will be an all-star for the Suns in the next few years. Not next year.
I'm just trying to figure out where this came from. Because now you're putting
I
me
saw
on
a
this.
Mark Williams edit this morning.
Okay.
When I woke up and checked social media.
Okay, so it's just
sometimes that's what buy or sell is.
That's what buy or sell is supposed to be about. It's not criticism. Mark Williams isn't on the rundown. Mark Williams wasn't like a random topic of conversation in the morning meeting. Sometimes I can piece together where we're going to go in buy or sell. Mark Williams hasn't come up on the show or in a morning meeting in probably a couple of weeks.
Not at all. No. And I've been trying to get the Suns involved.
Well, it's football season, man, and we've got baseball still going on. I will sell this take. The big question with Mark is his health, right? And that's going to be the thing that stops him from being an all-star, not his talent level. If he's able to show to all of us that the health stuff is behind him, that he can be a reliable everyday player, then I do think the talent is there for him to be an all-star. But I got to see that first step first.
I agree. I need to stay healthy for all 82.
No. I don't even need 82. Can I get 65? Can I get 60?
Now you're asking not that much.
Can you be award eligible? You have to play 65 games to be eligible
65
for awards. That's the new NBA rule that they put in, I believe, not last season, but the year before. To be eligible for any of the awards, it's 65 games.
Could you imagine, like, that's a crazy thing. In Major League Baseball, if you only played 110 games, you're never going to win the MVP.
Well, it's what stole the Defensive Player of the Year award from Wemby. He didn't get to 65 because of the deep vein thrombosis. So,
but that matters.
The betting markets weren't taking extra money on Defensive Player of the Year because it was such a lock that it was Wemby that they then had to open it up.
But playing matters for the awards.
Of course, playing matters.
So if you only play 3/4 of the season, guess what?
I know, but
there can win Defensive Player of the Year.
There can also be some spirit. That was to guard against the
sitting
load
out
management.
Yeah. Yep. Last one, I told you it was random. A chocolate chip cookie is the best dessert.
Did you see a social media reel going
No, I
through
just
the
made
top
cookies
5
last night.
chocolate chip cookies? The best dessert?
I just think its versatility is unmatched.
I do think that vanilla ice cream with a warm chocolate chip cookie, you can't beat that.
That plays.
You cannot beat that. No, that plays. That's a first round pick dessert. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Hour number 2 right around the corner. We thank you for joining us. It's the lunch break. KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
We're chatting with our guest, always safety first, 811 Megaphone Man.
Call 811 before you dig.
You never stray from your mission of letting homeowners, landscapers, and excavators know you should always call 811 before you dig.
Call 811.
Call for both small and big jobs. And 2 working days in advance?
811.
Any parting words? And I'm guessing they will be.
Call 811 before you dig.
Brought to you by Southwest Gas.
811.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all-new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th. Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Phoenix. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Did you catch Luisito's header?
Yeah, I just recorded it on my new Samsung A36 5G phone I got for free at Total Wireless.
Oh, I'm actually live streaming the whole match with my new Samsung Tab A9 that I also got free at Total Wireless.
I got that tablet too.
And I got that phone too. We both got both. Go!
Switch to Total Wireless and get both the Samsung A36 5G and the Samsung Tab A9 for free. For a limited time while supplies last, valid in store. Requires new phone activation on the Total 5G Unlimited plan or higher external port and ID verification and new activation on the Total 5G Unlimited 6-month tablet plan. Restrictions apply.
Fulton Homes is bringing legendary Fulton quality back to the West Valley. Explore 4 exceptional West Valley locations with more standard features and thousands of ways to personalize your home. Find out why people buy Fulton Homes over and over again. Fulton Homes. You're proud to own. We're proud to build.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Hour number 2 of the lunch break. You're on KDUS AM 1060. We thank you for joining us here. What a wild hour number 1. Breaking down the 2011 World Series, debating the value of a championship, a World Series, and then closing it, discussing desserts and what is the best dessert that you could have. Where else can you get content like this? Nowhere else.
It's the best show in town.
The lunch break is your spot if you just want to get weird and wild and just be all over the place. And so now what I'm going to try to do is get us back on track. Now, I don't know if we'll stay there, but we're going to try to at least start the hour on a good note. And I already know we've got a top 5 list coming around the corner. We've got a power rankings update in the NFC West. We got the defensive linemen coming up. So definitely opportunities for us to veer off course here. But for the beginning of the hour, we'll try to get back on track. And yesterday, we mentioned the update that ESPN did to their top 50 players in baseball. And we mentioned, at least I did, 2 players inside the top 20 in Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte, and how valuable that is. And that I hope it's not taken for granted having 2 top 20 players currently in the game of baseball. I just hope that this fan base, that all of you understand how rare that is, that only 5 total teams in baseball can say that. And the Arizona Diamondbacks are one of those teams. And we use that as somewhat of a springboard to talk about how the future is still really, really bright for this team. Because when you have 2 stars like that, sky's the limit, truthfully. When you have 2 stars that can carry an offense, that can be MVP candidates, that's going to give you a higher floor than most teams. That's going to put you in a different spot, a different tier at the start of the season compared to most. So I want to extend that conversation here a little bit today. I want to take that and go a step further. I want to look at what's coming down the pipeline for the Diamondbacks. The players that are right around the corner that can help this team in both the short-term future and the long-term future. And when you do this exercise the way I did it this morning, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how you aren't grinning from ear to ear about what is coming up next for this baseball team. It's partly why I don't worry that the budget for this team is coming down next season. Why I don't worry about some of the holes that they have to fill, because they've got a lot of them addressed with some of the young players. Let's start and just go position by position. Catcher, we feel like they've got that pretty locked down with Gabby Moreno. Jose Herrera, a nice backup. You feel really good about that. Maybe Adrian Del Castillo can, if he improves his defense, can be in there as well. But you feel really good about that position. First base, boy, it certainly feels like Tyler Locklear is going to have that job going into 2026. Going to be his job to lose in many regards. Second base, I don't know if anybody else thinks Ketel Marte should remain at second base. Ketel Marte should remain at second base. Shortstop, Geraldo Perdomo is not going anywhere. Third base, this is where you have a little bit of a controversy. In a good way, you have Jordan Lawler and you have Blaze Alexander, who is playing his way into a role in 2026. Good problem to have. A player that's currently in the bigs contributing, having a really good August, and a player in Jordan Lawler who should be up soon to get some reps and could be in the mix in 2026. You look at the outfield. Caldwell, Waldschmidt, 2 outfield prospects that maybe not in the cards for 2026, but could very easily, at the end of 2026, if not 2027, be right around the corner. How about the pitchers? How about Cole Drake? How about Bratt? How about 2 of the starters that they got back in the deal for Merrill Kelly, who could see time at the end of this season and be in the rotation in 2026? How about this quartet of relievers? Hoffman, Burgos, Garcia, the guy who got the save last night, Juan Murillo. 4 relievers that could be a part of both your 2026 and beyond bullpens. And in talking about all of those different players that fill all of the holes that this team's going to have entering the winter, you know what 3 names I didn't mention? I didn't mention Tommy Troy. I didn't mention Lou James Groover. I didn't mention Drew Jones. I didn't mention any of those 3 prospects. And those are 3 players, in the case of Troy and Groover, that could be here before you know it. Troy's up at Reno now. Groover's probably right around the corner as well. You're going to have to find spots for these guys. Now, this should play itself out. Not all of these guys are going to hit. Not all of these guys are going to be everyday impact players. But you have choices. You have options. And you're hoping that a couple of these guys pan out, and then you can supplement the rest with free agency. This is why I'm not worried that the payroll is going to come down, because you have the answers. This group is the answer to the test. This group is the answer to all of their problems. Cost-controlled players that can allow them to get their budget under control. And then, if some of these players pan out, if either Blaze Alexander or Jordan Lawler pans out at third base, if one of the two outfielders can come up and be an answer alongside Corbin Carroll, if one of those starters can join Corbin Burns and Brandon Pfaadt and Ryan Nelson, one of them joins that rotation. If two of those relievers can join Justin Martinez, you got a lot of your problems solved. And if you can start to win and make the postseason and go on those postseason runs and get the playoff money, you then have the cash to reinvest because now we've seen it. We know. You wonder. I'll use Pittsburgh as an example. I think many people around baseball would wonder if you put Pittsburgh in the playoffs right now, producer Evan, you could wave a magic wand, Paul Skeens, the Pittsburgh Pirates, as bad as they are a playoff team. And they got all that playoff money. I think there is a legitimate fear that that money would go directly into the owner's pocket and it would not be reinvested into the product on the field.
I think they would have a really real concern that would happen. There's nothing the Pirates specifically have shown you that would prove otherwise.
The Diamondbacks have shown you exactly what they'll do if they make that playoff money. They've shown you exactly where those resources are going to get reinvested. In a year in which they moved the payroll to the highest it's been in the history of the franchise, they sold players at the deadline, and the president of the team has already said that the money that we saved is not going into Ken Kendrick's pocket. We made these moves. We saved this money so that our budget next year doesn't have to come dramatically down. We can reinvest that savings into next year's team. You have the proof of how this team is going to operate if they find success again. And your ticket to success is the two guys we mentioned yesterday in Carroll and Marte and Perdomo as well. So make it 3 players. And this other group of players here that are right around the corner. Most of these guys are 2026 ETAs. Most of these guys should be here sooner rather than later. Cole Drake, the number 8 prospect in the system now, because MLB Pipeline reordered the prospects here this week, has an ETA of 2026. There's a really good chance he gets some time at the end of the year. I wonder if when rosters expand on September 1 and you have those 2 extra spots, you can add a hitter and a batter. I wonder if Cole Drake isn't one of the guys that gets added. One of the 2 extra roster spots that this team gets when the calendar flips to September and we get to see some Cole Drake starts. The answer is right there. The future is really bright. There are plenty of reasons to be excited about this team. And I know we spent hour number 1 diving into the miserable index, but guess what? The Diamondbacks, 16th most miserable baseball team. You have a football team that you should be more miserable about, a basketball team that's close to where the Diamondbacks sit. The future is still really, really bright. Catcher solved. First base on track to being solved. A player already in the building. Second base, no problem. Shortstop, no problem. Third base, it's going to be somebody. It's going to be Blaze. It's going to be Lawler. It's going to be one of those 2. If not, it's going to be somebody else because you've got options. Maybe Tommy Troy's going to play some third base. So you've got options there. Corbin Carroll's got right field locked down. You have 2 outfield spots. You've got 2 outfield prospects. Who knows? Maybe Jordan Lawler moves out there. We've talked about getting him outfield reps. You've got flexibility. What a key word for a team like the Arizona Diamondbacks. And I'm not going to shy away from this because I know that this is a pain point for a lot of people. But the Diamondbacks are not a big market team. The Diamondbacks are a small market squad. The Diamondbacks cannot spend to the level that they spent this year every single year, or at least they have an owner who doesn't want to. So we have to live within the reality. We have to live within the context of the way this team is set up. The thing that allows the Milwaukee Brewers to be the Milwaukee Brewers seemingly every single year, they can have executives leave. They can have a manager go across the division. They can have players come and go. They can lose Corbin Burns in free agency or trade Corbin Burns to the Orioles because they don't want to pay him. They can do all of that, and they can still be the best team in baseball here on August 13th. Why? Because they create flexibility. They're always thinking 3 or 4 moves ahead. Their front office isn't just focused on the day-to-day of 2025. They're looking at 2026. They're looking at 2027. They're looking at 2028. And they're giving themselves options, flexibility. We could do this. We don't have to. We could do this, and then we would do that. If we signed this guy in free agency, we would move this guy over here. It opens up X, Y, and Z. The best organizations in sports, especially in the sport of baseball, are the ones who create themselves the most flexibility. It is an advantage that you can have. Everybody wants to be the Yankees, right? Everybody wants to be the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees have no flexibility. They have to play Giancarlo Stanton in right field right now because Judge is hurt, and they want to have both bats in the lineup. So Stanton, who can barely run, is out there patrolling right field right now. A team that has the biggest payroll, or one of the biggest payrolls in all of baseball, has 2 starters in the month of August. 2 that you trust. They have a bullpen that had Devin Williams in it, who's been relegated to low leverage roles. They have nowhere to go. They have no flexibility. There is no other option for them. They put all their resources in these relievers that they traded for at the deadline, that they traded for Devin Williams. They traded for Giancarlo Stanton's contract. They signed Aaron Judge to that big deal. They are landlocked. They don't have roster flexibility. I want roster flexibility. I want a team that has options. And then when I have a star, I lock them up like Corbin Carroll. I lock them up like Ketel Marte. I lock them up like a Justin Martinez. When I find somebody that I identify as a part of this core, lock them up. But in the meantime, have all of these spots so that Blaze Alexander and Jordan Lawler can battle it out. Have a bunch of starters and hope that somebody enters that rotation. Get a bunch of relievers and say the best are going to play. Give yourself choices. Because when you are a small market team, or you're a team that is operating on a limited budget, a limited payroll, and you don't have flexibility, and you then become desperate, you're going to miss. Or when you do make the bet, when you do go all in, when you do sign that big contract, it has to work out. So I would rather avoid that. I would rather take multiple throws at the dartboard than take one big throw at the dartboard and just hope that it works. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, we continue our series, Power Ranking the NFC West. We spent most of the beginning of this week and the end of last week on the offense. Today, we flip sides of the ball. We focus on the defense. We're still in the trenches, though. It is the defensive line. We'll get to it next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Class is back in session, and so is Phoenix Rising. Celebrate the start of the school year on Saturday, August 23rd at 7:30 p.m. as Phoenix Rising takes on Colorado Springs in the back-to-school match. It's a night for students, families, and fans of all ages to come together and kick off the new season in style. Tickets start at just $15. Grab yours now at phxrisingfc.com. New school year, same rising energy.
Hi, I'm Brian, your friend and jeweler here at Shane Company. Come on in, feel at home, and let's find your dream engagement ring. I'm proud to work for a company that puts customers first and lets them shop the way they want to. See, we believe shopping for an engagement ring should be fun without any of the pressure. We don't work on commission, so finding your dream ring is truly on your terms. We'll be right by your side as your friend and jeweler to help you find a ring more beautiful than you imagined, and stick to your budget too. We have all of the styles and all of the smiles. You can even watch our in-house jewelers working their magic inside your neighborhood store. It's that kind of care and craftsmanship that makes Shane Company's free lifetime warranty the best in the business, saving you thousands over time and giving you peace of mind. No appointment necessary, or check us out at shaneco.com. Because a friend knows when you're ready, you're ready. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Every day, savings, energy efficiency, rebates. Every day at APS, you have ways to save energy and money. We know how important it is to keep your bill as low as possible. That's why we offer programs to help you manage your energy use. Schedule a home energy checkup for savings recommendations tailored to your home. Find rebates on smart thermostats. Compare your rate plan options and switch to the plan that would have saved you the most money. Find ways to save at aps.com/brighter.
I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. The majors may be in the rearview mirror, and the Ryder Cup looms large, but don't let that distract from what's right in front of us. The 2025 FedEx Cup playoffs. Yes, Scotty is the heavy favorite. He's been dominant all season long, and his game travels everywhere. But this isn't just some afterthought on the golf calendar. The FedEx Cup still matters. A staggering $40 million on the line. Players aren't treating this like a preseason tune-up. It's life-changing money for most of the field. And it's a strong tune-up for the Ryder Cup run. And this year's format, condensed and competitive, is built for drama. A few hot rounds can vault somebody from forgotten to unforgettable. Just ask Victor Hovland. So sure, the timing might feel like an encore to golf's headliners, but this encore pays big, and the stakes are real. The FedEx Cup isn't just filler on the golf calendar. It's a fight for fortune and bragging rights. I'm Dan Patrick, and this is Above the Noise. You ever find yourself walking up to your car and thinking, I don't know, should I get that fixed? A dent from maybe backing out too quickly, scratch from the shopping cart at the grocery store, the bumper you swear wasn't hanging like that last month. You brush it off, you kind of look elsewhere when you're walking by your car. You tell yourself it's not a big deal, but over time, those little things start to stack up. They can turn into bigger problems. You don't need a new car. Your car just needs a fresh start. That's where Maaco comes in. They make it really easy. Maaco works with your budget, gets the job done fast, and backs it all up with a national warranty. They even give you a free estimate when you stop by your local Maaco. Maaco's been doing it for over 50 years. They've helped millions of drivers get back on the road with confidence, and they can do the same for you. Go in, get the free estimate, find out how long it'll take to get the job done, and it's all backed up with that national warranty. And just remember, better get Maaco.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KTUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
We continue our series of power ranking the NFC West. And our hopes in doing this is by the time that we're all said and done here, we're going to have a numerical value that tells us where the NFC West stacks up. Now, it's not going to be our prediction per se. I know who right now I'm picking to win this division. I don't know if the math is going to add up to that, and perhaps it makes me rethink things. So today, we are power ranking. We're moving to the defensive side of the ball. And we're starting with the defensive line. And producer Evan and I went back and forth on this. We had a lengthy conversation about it, and we decided we're including the edge rushers in this group because I am not going to try to explain on the air to all of you which edge rushers, which pass rushers we included because they stick their hand in the dirt, which ones we didn't include because they stand up. I'm not doing that.
And then it also gets tough. Like, I've seen Josh Sweat drop into coverage. I've also seen him just be a pass rusher.
We're going to look at true defensive line, which includes the pass rushers. We're going to go to your traditional linebackers. Then we're going to go to corners and safeties. We're going to make it very simple on everybody.
I think that's the only way to do it.
And then we'll close with everybody's favorite group, the special teams.
Love it.
So with that in mind, we're including the pass rushers. How do we see the defensive lines in the NFC West?
Do you want me to start?
I think I started yesterday, no?
I think you did.
So I think it is your turn to start, yes.
The defensive lines.
Yes.
Ranking all four.
No, just go one at a time. One at a time.
The fourth.
Yeah.
For me is the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. So you and I already at odds today.
Who's your 4?
Just explain why you put Seattle 4, and then
I just don't think Seattle has a guy that can win when they need him to. If you asked me on a third down, rush the passer situation, which it comes down to me is the most important time you need your defensive line, Seattle's the team I trust least in the division.
I mean, I think Leonard Williams is a underrated
I like Leonard Williams.
defensive line player in football. So that I did put some value into Leonard Williams when putting Seattle where I put them.
And I think that there has to be value in that. I just believe that pin your ears back, go get the passer. I think they're probably the worst in the division.
Okay. I think there is a team worse. And I think the team that is worse is the team that has Nick Bosa on.
So I knew you were going to do this. I had a pretty good feeling you were going to do this. I don't necessarily disagree.
DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams is a good combo.
It is. It is.
Nick Bosa and Mykel Williams, also a pretty good combo. But Mykel Williams is a rookie. I don't know what Mykel Williams is. Nick Bosa, let's face it, everybody. Nick Bosa is not the player that he was when he first came into the league. Is he still productive? Yes, but he is not the same player. His availability is in question. I look at the interior of the defensive lines as well. Give me Jaron Reed and Byron Murphy over Kevin Givens and Jordan Elliott on the interior. And I think when you add both of those groups together, I had no problem putting San Francisco 4 on my list.
I think you're asking a lot of some of the guys in Seattle that haven't proven it yet.
I
like Jaron Reed. Is he going to continue to play the way he played last year?
But the floor of that group, I think, is better. We can be honest. If you're putting San Francisco higher up on this list, you're betting on Nick Bosa being special. That's what you're betting on.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I don't know if you are. I don't know if you are. And hear me out here. And this is a player I really dislike. But I really like their addition, given who the defensive coordinator is over there, of Bryce Huff.
Okay, but the problem,
his most productive year,
comes with
Saleh.
With Saleh in New York, but as a only pass rush player, not going to play enough.
No, I agree.
That's the problem.
He can't play the run,
right?
whatsoever.
So then he's not on the field, and now I have to be in those only passing down situations to get him on the field. So while I think he's going to be better than he was in Philadelphia, I'm still dealing with an extremely limited sample size.
I agree.
So you have Seattle at 4. I have San Francisco at 4.
I think flip a coin on those. I don't know how much you were ahead of on Seattle. I went back and forth on those two teams. I ended up going with the Niners because I just think in a 3rd and 7+ situation,
you'd rather have Nick Bosa.
I would rather have Nick Bosa.
And that's fair. And I just think Nick Bosa being the only thing you can hang your hat on is tough for me.
It is. It is. And I understand that Seattle has more, but not by much.
And so that means we're going to have a tie for 3 once again here between San Francisco and Seattle. Because we
haven't had many crazy different rankings, which I guess makes sense.
I have Seattle at 3. I mean, you're dealing with 4 teams, right? And so it can kind of be pretty simple. So I have San Francisco 4, Seattle 3. Who do you have at 2?
I have the Cardinals at 2.
So you put the Cardinals at 2, which means you have the Rams at number 1.
I have the Rams at number 1.
And I see it the same way. I love, and the reason why I put Arizona comfortably over Seattle and San Francisco, and I'm sure for you putting Arizona over San Francisco, is I've just got way more options this year.
I think they're deeper.
Extremely. Dalvin Tomlinson, Calais Campbell, Darius Robinson, Walter Nolan, Baron Browning, Josh Sweat, Zaven Collins. I mean, I've got options at pass rusher. I've got options on the interior of my defensive line. I've got just a deeper group. And to me, while they don't have a singular player that matches Nick Bosa, I just think they're a deeper group. So it felt easy to put them at number 2. And then for me, number 1, I mean, Jared Verse is special.
I was going to say, I think that there's not a knock on the Cardinals. I think there's a pretty wide gap of where the Rams sit to the Cardinals. Jared Verse is special. And he's the type of game changer pass rusher that really we don't see across the division anymore. Nick Bosa once was. I don't know if he is anymore. To me, Jared Verse is a step above any other defensive line player in the entire division.
Yeah, and then they also have Braden Fisk.
I thought Poona Ford was a good addition.
Ford is a good addition. Don't forget about Colby Turner.
I mean, they have a lot of young talent.
It would be easy if they just had Aaron Donald because you could put the Rams at number 1 and just move on with your life. But even without Aaron Donald, this is still a really, really solid group. Like a really solid group. And Jared Verse, I know for us here in town, we watch the Rams because we see him 2 times a year. I don't know if the rest of the league is aware. That dude is special.
He's really good. And part of me, and when they had played the Eagles in the divisional round, he was kind of talking his talk a little about the Eagles. Dude came in, played a great game.
Yeah, he is
played a great game, and he's really a special player. He's gonna be a great pass rusher for years to come. I mean, the mix of speed and power he has is insane. Insane. The fact that people missed on him in the draft is mind-boggling.
Yeah, slid to what, the back part of the first round?
Yeah.
So, that being said, we have Seattle and San Francisco in a tie for 3rd. We have Arizona in 2nd, and we have the Rams in 1st. So, the Rams get 1 point. The Cardinals get 2 points. And then both San Francisco and Seattle get 3 points. And so, that leaves us. The Rams are in 1st.
And remember, everybody, it's by golf score. Lowest
you want
score
the lowest
wins
score
here.
Yeah, the Rams have 18 points. The Rams have 8 points in total so far. The 49ers are in 2nd with 13 points so far. But the Cardinals are starting to gain ground. They're at 15 points. They are right there behind the 49ers. And then the Seattle Seahawks are in last place with 20 total points so far. So we see.
I think we're being a little mean to Seattle.
I don't think we're being mean at all. I think this exercise is proving everything about Seattle that I've been trying to say all year. Or I should say all offseason.
Do you think Seattle's better or worse than they were last year?
I think Seattle is on paper better than they were last year. I think they overperformed last year. I think they overperformed as a group.
The problem is I like the coach. I love the coach.
I don't like the coach. I love the coach.
And we'll see what Darnold looks like without Kevin O'Connell, but I like some of the moves they've made in the offseason. I think last year I looked at it's one of the weirdest off seasons in all sports. Last year I looked at Seattle and said that team could win 9 to 10 games if they play well. And they had a full off season with massive changes, changed the quarterback, got rid of big name receivers, additions on the defense. And you know what I think about them today? They can win 9 to 10 games if they play well. I've never seen anything like it.
We had them ranked 4th in our coaching breakdown.
It's not far off.
It's just how good the rest of the coaches in the division are. Somebody had to be 4th, and I trust Gannon more than I do McDonald right now. But I like Mike McDonald a lot.
I really do too.
A lot.
I really do too. And and again on the receiver room, I think I had them pretty high actually.
Their receiver room we had 2nd in the league. It's the only position where they've been not in the bottom.
I really think, JSN, Cooper Kupp. I like that. Yeah. I like Kenneth Walker.
We had that group ranked 2nd in the division.
Yeah.
In front of Arizona and San Francisco and just behind the Rams. But overall, we think their running back room's a little weak. We think their offensive line is the worst.
And that's the difference is we think they're weak. Say what you will about the division. You have McCaffrey.
Yeah.
You have Kyron Williams, James Conner, and Trey Benson. And then that room is still Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. It's still a good room.
The positions where they finished last, you can make the case that they're only last because just the 3 teams in front of them are just really good, not because they're actively bad.
Yeah.
480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. When we come back, it's Wednesday. Yes, it says Wednesday here on the calendar in front of me, which means we do top 5 lists. It's National or International Left-Handed Day. The top 5 left-handed pitchers of all time. Our subject for the top 5 list next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Have you noticed all of a sudden there's a bunch of lawyers saying they're going to fight for you? Yeah, until you read the fine print below them. Hi, I'm Mark Breyer.
And I'm Alexis Breyer. We're the husband and wife law team. If you look closely at that fine print, you'll see not an attorney in this state or not a law firm.
You never trust your future in the hands of someone other than a serious, experienced trial lawyer. And you definitely can't trust someone who won't even tell you who they are.
Do your research after a serious injury. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Stay at the heart of it all with a special Cliff Castle room rate starting at just $99 with no resort fees. Less fees mean more ways to choose your next adventure at the gateway to the region's best gaming, entertainment, and natural wonders. And expect service from the heart as well. We think you'll love your stay with us and all the value we provide, starting at just $99 with no added fees. Cliff Castle Casino Hotel, at the heart of it all. Valid Sunday through Thursday. Some restrictions apply. An enterprise of the Yavapai Apache Nation.
There are a million reasons to smile, a million reasons to laugh. And now the Arizona Lottery is giving you a million reasons to play. Because when you play Strike It Rich, all cash or any scratchers worth $10 or more, you can enter the $1 million Mega Market giveaway for a chance to win an all-expense paid Las Vegas vacation and up to $1 million. Learn more at ArizonaLottery.com. Arizona Lottery. Love the play.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember. Yellow Card. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, Saturday, October 25th. Special guests, The Wonder Years and Dinosaur Pile-Up. Tickets from $30. On sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card, part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
It's Halloween time, and the Disneyland Resort's 70th celebration is here. Spooky delights are brewing with spine-tingling cheer. A pinch of pumpkin, a dash of fright, a flicker of joy to paint the night. Watch as a giant Mickey pumpkin, a headless horseman, and happy haunts have a ball. Cars Land becomes Radiator Screams. Plus, there are seasonal favorites like Haunted Mansion Holiday and Guardians of the Galaxy, Monsters After Dark. Enjoy tricks, treats, and a ghostly invitation. This happy Halloween, join the Disneyland Resort's 70th celebration. Halloween time, August 22nd through October 31st. Visit Disneyland.com or contact your travel advisor for important details.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alessio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060. On Wednesdays, we do our top fives. And since today is International Left-Handed Day, decided we would, since it's still the baseball time of year, we would do a list discussing the top 5 left-handed pitchers of all time. And I'll tell you, I've got 3 HMs. I have 3 honorable mentions before we even get into the top 5.
Let me hear him.
I'm going to start with a guy who made over 700 starts in his career for 6 different teams. Won nearly 300 games. You all know him more for the surgery that is named after him. Tommy John, one of my honorable mentions. I'll tell you, these next two were tough. I have Warren Spahn as an honorable mention on my top 5 left-handed pitchers of all time.
So do I.
Warren Spahn, winner of 363 games for 3 teams. Didn't strike a lot of guys out. Made 665 starts. Career WAR of 74.5. Was a good pitcher. Career ERA, little north of 3. Didn't strike a lot of guys out. Just pitched to a lot of contact. I had Warren Spahn as one of my other honorable mentions. And how could you do a list of the top 5 left-handed pitchers of all time and not even mention Lefty Grove? His name is Lefty Grove. 300 career wins on the nose. A career 3.06 ERA for 2 teams. The third most valuable left-handed pitcher in the sport. An 87.4 career WAR. He is my third honorable mention.
I think those are good honorable mentions. I won't give you 2 of mine because I think that they will be on your list and they weren't on mine. Couple other names I wanted to bring up. I don't even know if they deserve to be up here, but I just wanted to talk about that. It was Cliff Lee and CC Sabathia, some of the best left-handed pitchers of our generation.
Well, CC Sabathia, Hall of Famer. CC Sabathia, the 11th most valuable lefty of all time, 66.5 WAR.
And one of the most dominant runs I have ever seen. So I just wanted to put that out there. Cliff Lee went to back-to-back World Series with 2 different teams at one point, and was the ace of both staffs. Just wanted to throw those guys out there.
So we should get into our top 5 lists. I'll go first since you went first in the last segment.
Sounds good.
This is bias. I am biased with who I have at number 5.
Yeah, extremely biased. He shouldn't be on the list. But
he's a closer that is in the Hall of Fame. He is perhaps the most dominant left-handed reliever of all time. Perhaps. I have Billy Wagner at number 5. The rest of my list is all starters. Felt like I wanted some representation for the southpaw bullpen arms. So I put a Hall of Fame closer in Billy Wagner in at number 5 on my list.
I like Billy Wagner. He's not Trevor Hoffman. He's not Mariano Rivera.
Well, yes, because he's lefty. Those 2 guys are righties. They can't be on this list.
And so I think that he doesn't really deserve to be on this list.
Okay.
So my 5 is Tom Glavine.
Okay.
Tom Glavine, a guy who was part of the greatest staff probably ever.
Smoltz, Glavine, Maddox.
10-time All-Star, 2-time Cy Young. 4 Silver Sluggers, by the way, which is a little fun stat to throw in there. World Series MVP, got into the Hall of Fame. Listen, he's 305 wins, 25 total shutouts, struck out over 2,600 batters. Part of the greatest rotation of all time.
Yeah.
And a team of the decade in the 90s.
Wins for pitchers are tough for me because wins are not a pitcher stat, right? You can pitch great. And if the team doesn't give you run support, you won't get a victory. But I do think there is some value in starters that hit this milestone of 300 wins because it shows your longevity. It shows that more often than not, you were the best pitcher on the mound that day. Yeah, there are those rare times where you get a win in a start where the final score was 10-8. I get that. But more often than not, you can say that guy was out there and dominated, and Tom Glavine certainly did that. He is my number 4. So I agree with you that Tom Glavine deserves to be on this list. 305 career wins, played for a handful of teams, 2 teams in his career, got his 300th win as a New York Met after playing with the Braves, a top 10 pitcher among left-handers in all-time WAR, 66.7, a career 3.54 ERA, and that's what you want to see, a guy who doesn't give up home runs, guy got to 300 wins, was dominant, won a couple of awards like you mentioned. Tom Glavine for me, number 4.
It's you?
Well, so since I shared my number 5,
4, yeah.
and then you shared your number 5, which was Tom Glavine, and then I said he was my number 4, the way that works in the order is it is your turn to give your number 4. Okay.
Clayton Kershaw, my number 4.
Wow. Clayton Kershaw, not on my list, not an honorable mention.
Which I think is crazy.
Okay.
He's 3 Cy Youngs. He is an MVP.
I know.
He is probably the best pitcher of my generation. When you talk about the history of baseball and you talk about the 2010s, you have to talk about Max Scherzer, Clayton Kershaw, and Justin Verlander. One of them was a lefty. When you define an era of baseball, there is one lefty pitcher you think of, that's Clayton Kershaw. And for that reason alone, he needs to be on this list. A 2.39 career ERA, that says enough alone. I mean, this guy is unbelievable.
I'll ask you to, at the end of my list, tell me who I should remove. You're probably going to say Billy Wagner, but right now I don't think there's anybody that's going to be able to make room other than Billy for Clayton Kershaw, because how about a guy who was a 10-time All-Star? How about a guy who was a 2-time World Series champion? How about the first guy to win 4 Cy Youngs in his career? A Triple Crown winner as a pitcher, a Gold Glove Award winner, a wins leader in the NL 4 times, the 5-time NL strikeout leader whose nickname was Lefty. Give me Steve Carlton, number 3 on my list.
Too low.
Too low?
Too low.
I mean, my number 1 is the greatest left-handed pitcher of all time by every metric imaginable.
Yes.
And when I tell you who number 2 is, I don't think you're moving Steve Carlton above that.
Steve Carlton is my number 2.
Okay.
And my number 3 is Sandy Koufax.
Okay.
Who is that your 2?
Sandy Koufax is my number 2.
That's what I think.
The knock on Sandy is that he didn't pitch long enough and the injuries derailed him. But the dominance that Sandy had when he was pitching was absolutely extraordinary. I mean, Sandy Koufax, I'll give you the metrics. I'll give you the numbers. 7-time All-Star, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, 2-time World Series MVP, won the pitching Triple Crown 3 times, pitched a perfect game, has 4 no-hitters, was the NL MVP in 1963. Did all of that with only 165 wins in his career. That's how great he was. A career ERA of 2.76. I'm sorry, he just barely beats out Steve Carlton for me.
I think it's Carlton given the longevity. I don't hate you putting Sandy Koufax slightly over him, but, I mean, Carlton's nickname is Lefty.
Fair enough, and hence why he needed to be on the list.
But no, you can't say enough about Sandy Koufax in his short career. I mean, 7-time All-Star, all consecutive. He wins an MVP, which is unheard of as a pitcher. You left off the other MVP, which I thought was crazy. Multiple Cy Youngs, the 2-time World Series MVP. I don't know if I can think of another guy other than Corey Seager that has multiple World Series MVP.
Does Madison Bumgarner have multiple World Series MVPs?
No, he's the one in 14. And that's it. By the way, another guy, did you think about an honorable mention for him?
For Madison Bumgarner?
Yeah.
No.
I didn't either.
I'll be honest, his name didn't cross my mind.
It's really interesting when you look at Madison Bumgarner. Like, you just remember him being better than he actually was because of the playoff success.
Because he turned into Sandy Koufax in the postseason. I mean, you just couldn't hit him.
But then, other than that, he was a good pitcher.
Good pitcher, not a great pitcher.
Really kind of interesting to always take a look back at that.
And we smartly agree here that the greatest left-handed pitcher of all time also perhaps is a top 5 pitcher in the history of the game.
He might be top 3.
A World Series champion, 5-time Cy Young Award winner, a World Series MVP in 2001.
Co-World Series MVP.
Triple Crown winner in 2002. The wins leader in 2002, a 9-time strikeout leader. He's got a perfect game. He's got a no-hitter, a 10-time All-Star, a 4-time ERA leader. The big unit, Randy Johnson, number 1. Easiest name to write down. First name I wrote down. Didn't even need to think about it. That guy's number 1.
I met Randy Johnson at Cronkite once. I thought about asking him to zip one in there for me, like a wiffle ball or something. Little squish ball. I wanted to feel it.
Randy Johnson's 303 victories, 5th most by a left-handed pitcher. His strikeouts, 4,875, second all-time. First among lefties. 300 strikeouts in a season, 6 different times. 10-time All-Star, one of only 2 pitchers to win the Cy Young in 4 consecutive seasons. Won the Cy Young in both leagues. One of 5 pitchers to pitch a no-hitter in both leagues. And is one of 25 pitchers in history to record a win against all 30 MLB franchises.
We talk about...
Do you need anything else?
No, you don't. We talk about freaks a lot in the NFL or college football.
40 years old. Sorry.
Randy Johnson is probably the biggest freak in baseball history, other than maybe Shohei Ohtani. Randy Johnson was a 6'10", left-hander who threw over 100 miles an hour.
And really he threw 2 pitches.
I was going to say.
He was a starter who threw 2 pitches. You knew what was coming. You still couldn't do anything about it.
He is watching him pitch. He's the crazy. And we didn't even get one killed bird throughout the career as well.
I wasn't going to bring that up in talking about how great Randy Johnson was, but yes, that did happen.
Which is crazy. Also kind of funny. Did you realize he's a 5-time NL All-Star, 5-time AL All-Star?
And he's a great photographer.
AL Cy Young, 4-time NL Cy Young. I mean, that's crazy. He's 5 Cy Youngs, 4 in one league, 1 in the other.
Absolutely dominant. No doubt, slam dunk, the greatest left-handed pitcher of all time. My list: Billy Wagner 5, Tom Glavine 4, Steve Carlton 3, Sandy Koufax 2, and Randy Johnson 1. I believe you had...
Mine was Glavine, Kershaw, Koufax, Carlton, Johnson.
So in honor of International Left-Handed Day, your top 5 left-handed pitchers of all time in baseball. We've got one more before we are out of here today. It's the leftovers, all the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. We'll get to them next. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Global Credit Union, how can I help you?
It's one of those voice prompts.
Representative! Good morning. How can I help?
Wait, is this a real person?
It's 2 a.m.
We're here to help members 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Impossible.
At Global, possible. Learn more at globalcu.org. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities.
The UPS store has high-quality, industry-approved packaging materials. So stop by and get 15% off packing materials and protect it with our pack and ship guarantee. Visit the upsstore.com/guarantee or a location near you for full details.
Summer's here, and SRP wants to remind you that swim safety starts with W. That's right, W, as in Water Watcher. Keep pool time a good time by designating an adult who can swim and know CPR. Be sure they avoid distractions, always scan the swimming area, and ensure that the pool gate stays locked. Assigning a water watcher is a simple step to help prevent drownings and keep everyone safe around pools. To get more water safety tips, visit srp.net/pool.
9 Inch Nails. Live at Footprint Center, September 16th. Get tickets now at NIN.com. 9 Inch Nails, live in Phoenix. Peel It Back World Tour 2025.
Live the horror at Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights, September 4th to November 2nd. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA and a haunted house based on the hit show Fallout and more. Event not recommended for children under 13.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KTUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KTUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KTUS1060.com and on the KTUS 1060 app.
You're like,
Back to wrap up today's edition of the Lunch Break here on KTUS AM 1060. We appreciate you joining us here on the program. Make sure you download the KTUS AM 1060 app. Your chance to win 4 tickets to the Diamondbacks when they take on the Reds. Kick off Hispanic Heritage Weekend Friday, August 22nd. presented by Estrella Jalisco. After the game, the party starts. Post-game concert featuring Banda La Adictiva. Meet and greet and concert field passes are available. Get your tickets at dbacks.com/SGT. We've got your chance to win 4 tickets for listening on the KDUS AM 1060 app or streaming KDUS1060.com. The leftovers, all of the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. Producer Evan, what is on the docket today?
Got a couple things today. Figured we'd start with your New York Mets. Pete Alonso, 253rd career home run, makes him the Mets' all-time home run leader.
Yeah, past Darryl Strawberry, who had 252. He had been tied with him for a couple of days, not that long, but hit 2 last night, now at 254. Always cool in baseball. I don't know why it's like this for me compared to any other sport, but I love seeing like franchise records get broken because of the history that the sport has, no matter whose team it is. When somebody sets the all-time franchise mark in something, hits, home runs, RBIs, wins, strikeouts, that's special. It is a special moment no matter who the team is, no matter who the player is. And like Kershaw earlier this year got his, 3,000th strikeout? That's a big deal. That's a big moment in the history of the sport, despite it just being a random regular season game in the middle of the year.
I mean, it's hard to do. Hard to do a lot of those things.
Hard to set records in a sport that's history goes way back.
Pete Alonso, a guy, 250 home runs, all with the same organization now. It's really impressive. Really, really impressive. I actually couldn't believe, and I guess it kind of makes sense, because I feel like the Mets have had a lot of guys that haven't been full career Mets, other than guys like David Wright, who you would never really define as a home run hitter.
He was 3rd all time on the list.
Just 253. I thought it would be higher.
I think there's only 2 teams that have home run records that are lower than that. I think it's San Diego and Arizona, I think, are the 2 teams that have home run numbers that career for home runs with one team lower than the Mets with 252.
Yeah.
Now 254.
I think that's interesting. You can do your victory lap here. Bills signed James Cook to a 4-year, $48 million contract.
I told you. You were like, $11 million not happening. And I'm like,
no, that's not what I just said. I wouldn't give it to him.
Well, you're not the Buffalo Bills. You're not Brandon Beane.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Beane, no problem giving out a 4-year, $48 million contract, $12 million APY. I think that puts him 7th among running backs. Breece Hall is probably really happy today. What other running backs are happy today? Devon Achane's probably really happy today.
Breece Hall, a lot of interesting kind of rumors about Breece Hall.
Well, new regime taking over. He's eligible for a contract extension. They paid Garrett. They paid Sauce. They haven't paid him. It's a running back. Do you want to pay a running back, right?
People are talking about them, given how the season might go. Could they move him at the deadline? A lot of talk.
Yeah, and now you have a new bar to clear with James Cook getting $48 million. Kyron Williams getting his $11 million a year, 3 years, $33 million. So that's the bar that you have to clear now.
And I think people are a lot of people I've seen are nervous about Breece Hall's vision. Like it just hasn't seemed to kind of develop.
Offensive line wasn't very good last year. A lot of question marks about, Rodgers not wanting to run the football a whole lot, wanting to throw the ball more. So I think you'll get a better gauge on Breece and what his long-term future is. So for those fantasy players out there, don't worry too much.
Angels won last night in the 10th inning and are now 5-0 against the Dodgers this year. Little fun fact. I just thought that was crazy as the late night baseball game of the night that I was tuned into. 5-0 against the Dodgers. Angels cleaning up in the city.
They're not doing well, I think, anywhere else, but yes.
Nowhere else. No, I think they're 6 games back of a wild card spot. I just thought that was a fun little snippet to put in there. Our guy Paul might be listening. Can't beat the Angels. That seems to be their Achilles heel.
Can't beat the Angels.
Even last night, like Ohtani hit a go-ahead home run the 9th. Still didn't help. Titans rookie quarterback Cam Ward quoted as, did you see this quote?
I did not.
He believes the Titans will have a top 10 offense in football.
Who said this?
Cam Ward.
Well, I mean, he's the quarterback, so he certainly has a lot to say in that.
Any chance they're top 10?
No, absolutely not. Sell. I know we do that at the end of hour number 1 of the program. Sell that take. Sell that the Titans will be a top 10. What metric do we want to use?
Points scored.
Points per game. All right.
Points per game.
So look last year.
I saw they're currently at a joint practice with the Falcons.
That's nice. Name something I care about less in training camp and in preseason than joint practices. They never end well. They normally
always a fight.
There's always a fight. You don't actually gain anything out of them because you're not showing the other team anything. There's just more harm than good. I'm going to look at last year's numbers at points per game in the NFL.
I mean, well, they have made a significant upgrade at quarterback.
They have. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do this because I have to push these buttons, and I'm not really a big believer in myself here to be able to do this. Points per game. Quickly, find the button. I can't do it. We're just gonna lose it into the ether. But no, they're not going to be a top 10 offense next year, the Tennessee Titans. That's going to do it for us here on the Wednesday edition of the program. Jim Rome, he's coming up next. Producer Evan, thank you for all that you do. Everybody, have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See ya.